Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute. This music isn't right. The scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermore. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. And I was almost smooth this morning, but found out I am out of squeezy stuff. Oh, well. All right, before we get into our lengthy and multitude of comments that I have to talk about, hi, Joe. A shout out to Joe, who's lurking in the background, as he should. The Joe Bachman of Joe Bachman Technologies, the founder and creator of Independant.org, the Independent Creators Directory. Also, the man who helps keep our lights on, my business partner and basic hero. So everybody go support Joe. Get on his YouTube channel. In fact, I'm going to pay the bills in style, folks, with something new. I would apologize, but it's not my fault, huh?
Hey guys, this is Joe Bachman with Behind the Code. I will be streaming live Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time on the Independent Creators Directory YouTube channel and also the Independent Creators Directory Facebook group. You can join me on my journey of creating new apps and also updating websites. Hope to see you there and have a great day.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you for that lovely break to get us some water. To remind you, we're also made possible by All Things Hybrids. Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, the role-playing game. The Quick Play is still available through LukeStoneStudios.com. The core book should be launching the 16th, I believe, on FundMyComic.com, assuming that goes well. We're also made possible by the Big Stompy Robots line of games. I almost got it up right that time. That happens. This is we are at the point where we can come together and we can game. We can roll dice in person and not worry too much about the assorted plagues creeping across the earth. If you want to do rules light, explosion heavy, fun gaming, check BSR. More is scheduled to come out for that in 2023. And the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Sphere. Oops, I almost got those right too. All available through Amazon. Guys, look, it's new year, new you. All of us are trying to get back into shape. I'd like to be something other than round. So you need motivation. Aerobics are a great a form of exercise where you're anything that gets you out moving and doing stuff. Now, I'm not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I'm just a guy who's been sword fighting for 20 years, specializing in teaching anybody who wants to learn how to do it. And I'd say my books are the best way to get off the ground and get running at learning how to sword fight for any group you may choose to indulge in. So hit those up on Amazon. Also, my Art and Tales books, the Art Tales Volume 1, the micro short stories and tied in art collection is out. It's in hands. Kat Rothermel got one for her birthday, which was just, I want to say yesterday. I want to say because my days get so busy, I lose track. And if I take a nap at all, it feels like another day. But I like big butts and I must reply. But between that, the Patreon folks who support the Historical Fencing Guild, and my lovely chat who occasionally do crazy things like send me money. And if you want to help me do this, feel free to paypal.me/Nicholas Tockert. Help me keep the lights on. Anything will be privately or publicly. I have no problem thanking you quite loudly if you like donate. Now, we have a lot to talk about on the docket, creators. Before I get into the chats, we got my accountability to talk about, which is I've done some writing, little bit of work on some writing projects. It's the new year. I want to restructure what I focus on, period. So naturally, I decided this year, for those of you who know, I'm going to come into 2023 calm. No new big projects. I'm just going to take the ones that need to get done first, line them up, figure out percentage of completion, and knock them out by percentage of completion. That lasted 2 days almost. 2 days before I stumbled across a Humble Bundle that said, make a mech game. That's it. Humble Bundle. Make a mech game. Oh no! That smells like dopamine, friends. Sweet, sweet dopamine. And my creator's bucket list, which everyone should have one. Things you want to do, things you want to try. I don't mind failing at something I pull out of my creator bucket list because it's not about succeeding. It's about attempting to see if it's something I like. I've been thinking about this. Now, bear with me. I gotta take a walk verbally for this. But my buddy Joe, who is of course lurking, told me about. He has another name, which is not as flattering, but I'm going to call him the Concrete Savant. He has a friend, a business worker, co-worker in the construction field, who can, by the way the concrete is moving and by like slopping it in a bucket and going pat, 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 tell you within a few decimal points all these facts about it. I'm not even going to try to enunciate upon them, but he innately seems to understand concrete to the point he gets calls about concrete in the middle of the night from people he doesn't even work for. Why does that matter to what does concrete have to do with writers, creators, and game designers, etc.? You need to find your savant thing. I have a theory that everyone has a thing. And don't be that way. Don't look at me like that. A talent. And that whatever it is, you should do as much of your world around it. Now, it may be you simply make the world's best coffee. I know some people who are born to be baristas. I'm not even kidding. I've had the exact same. I've done tests. I have done double-blind tests where, I take the coffee instructions and I make the coffee. I have them make the coffee. I have people taste test, which is different, blind. They'll pick theirs every time. Why? I don't know. Maybe they put love in it. The trick is that's their thing. I really do believe in very small magics. Okay. And I'm not talking, anything like Ooga Booga or full-on mojo. That's a whole different discussion. And I do have a lot to say on that in certain circles. But I will never hesitate to believe in very small magics. There are people. My dad, for example, can look at a car and he'll start running better. I have seen him growl a car that was misbehaving into submission. I don't know how, but he did it. Just, thought so. Like, find your thing, okay? If possible, profit from it. If not, simply enjoy it. All right? And do what you're good at, because you're good at it for a reason. And once you can figure that, you can find other things that work well with it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Concrete Savant wouldn't be a good baker, because the mentality is very similar. Precise mixes and with a little bit of tweaking, I bet he could make one heck of a sourdough. I think these things, because you need to think in terms of processes. So a good storyteller is usually a pretty good writer who could, if they're artistic, be a good storyboarder. It all can play to the same things. And by looking and researching and trying things that catch your interest, you have a better chance of finding out what your thing is and then doing it. I have a lot of them, little ones. I have a knack for statistical prediction. It's like probabilities, especially when you get to like the 80th percentile. Like, I'm usually good at figuring what's 80% or so likely to happen in any given system. I can't always tell you why. It's a type of intuition, but it really messed with some math teachers because they watched me struggle through algebra. But you get me estimating, and strange things happen real fast. This is part of why I do game design. When I say game design, usually I mean tabletop RPG or tabletop wargaming design. Now, what does that matter? Well, I am learning, starting, day before yesterday, how to code. I want to learn to code in Unity to make a video game. Because one, I've also wanted to. But I'm betting that the way I process my other game design stuff will work that well there. And I know if I make more than $100,000 on any given project I do, I'll have to get a fancy license in Unity. Woe is me. If I pull in $100,000 on something I made, and it looks like it's continuing, especially, I'm going to be like, hey, Unity, what do I have to do to keep playing your game? I doubt it, but you never know. Find your thing. Do that. That's my advice. Now, in the news, boy, do we have some news. We recently had, it was January 1st, which is Public Domain Day. I didn't get to talk about much, but a whole lot of things are now public domain to play with. And while this year is kind of exciting, I'm a big fan of putting on the Ritz, and now it's public domain, as are finally the complete works of William Shakespeare. Not William Shakespeare, I'm sorry. I have explained to people that one of my favorite plays of all time is the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged by the Reduced Shakespeare Company. But so it knee-jerks sometimes. The complete Sherlock Holmes. Now, apparently the estate that runs Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's estate was notoriously litigious and problematic. This should prevent that. Next year, however, in 2024, things get real interesting, because 2024 means Steamboat Willie goes public domain. Yes. Seeing how Disney responds to that is interesting, because a lot of people will be able to make money off of things Disney's made money off of in the coming years. This ports well into the next set of news I want to discuss. Guys, I am a cautious man. I'm accused of being overly cautious in certain circles. I don't, I take IP deadly serious. This is why I am incredibly anti-AI art. This is why I have some other problems with it. And this is why I don't do fan art without permission, stated permission. Although I do have it from, I believe, Dave Brink. So I could do some fan art of his stuff. And of course, Luke Stone. But our friends in the House of Mouse have just engaged in a big lawsuit with Kissimmee, I believe, a company that's been making knockoff mouse ears and other things. Furthermore, I have seen in the past where lawyers representing Marvel have walked around conventions with a literal tear-off pad of cease and desist orders. Bam, bam, bam. And shutting folks down. I've seen it happen at Comic Cons. And I've warned people. Well, as Disney starts to hemorrhage IP control, I expect to see a lot more of that. Because what you're going to find is, just like the IRS needs to make more money and is targeting people who make over $600 a year in their side gigs. Yes, folks, we anybody who does that doesn't report is being targeted heavily by the IRS, not the billionaires who make vast sums of money. Little guys. Because little guys are small holes, and small holes are much easier to patch in amount of time and get difference than big holes. Big holes fight back. That's why somehow the former president of the United States didn't pay any taxes. This is interesting. This is something we need to be aware of, and we need to make doubly sure that our ducks are in a row. Artists, authors, all you all who get a little fast and loose, you have been warned. The House of Mouse is coming. And I think you're going to find, because they own Marvel, it could shift at real ugly real fast. So with the upcoming con season, and yes, I'm working ahead. You are going to Region Con in April, right? Reminds me, I have to reach out to whatever his call sign is now. But make sure my tables are reserved. It is a good time for us to be prepared. Be prepared. That also applies to D&D. The changes in the OGL are terrifying in that it runs much. They are Hasbro and WotC through D&D are trying not just to monetize it, but turn it into a more digitally controlled platform. So there is a tendency throughout programming now not to sell programs. They want to rent them. They want subscription fees. They want perpetuity in their creations. Because, I have D&D books that I use. They're in paper. I don't have to pay D&D to run a game. I have OSRs like Basic Fantasy RPG. I've bought the book. It's mine. I can do I can run games. They want to be able to control that. They want to run. We're going to see this more. And we're going to have to decide how we respond to it, both as consumers and creators. So I'm doing a lot of research right now to figure out how I want to handle this. Because I am a game designer. I, for a long time, was on the fence whether I wanted a couple of my titles to go OGL and be much more compatible, or use one of my several home design. Not home design. I'm a legitimate businessman. Gosh darn it, my own systems, things like the Base Plus 2 system, and I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be running things much more of my own system, deliberately not compatible, because one, people are going, we want something different, and gamers as a lot don't like to be told what to do. So I have to cater to my audience. So I'm going to ask you guys, as you give your accountability, because I want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. What are you doing and how are you moving forward? In one more announcement before I deep dive the chat that I'm way behind on, but it's Wednesday, so you guys don't mind. Next Wednesday will be a very special episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. No, we will be talking with a beautiful man, one of my personal heroes, and someone who my whole life has been changed in the knowing of in only a few short years. Mr. Brian K. Morris will be right here, and he will not be here just to promote his works. In fact, he will do his level best not to promote his works. One second. Instead, promoting something he wants to do to help Miss Amy Hale, one of our own. And I will be running her commercial in just a second to kind of do my part. And I hope you guys will be here for that. It should be a entertaining, if pleading little telethon. And we're going to see if we can't raise more money to help some folks who have really been hurting. So there is that. And since I'm talking about the person we're helping, I'm going to run her ad. Support Amy Hale because, one, she's a heck of an author from everything I've seen, and two, she very much is in need. So, without further ado, we'll hit the chats, and then after a few chats, we'll knock our way through, and we will drop some more commercials because I have some more new stuff. First through the door today at 8:55 was Richie Asplin. Dropped in to drop a like and wish you luck. Have to teach a class this morning, so I won't be able to catch it in the rerun. Well, Rich, we love you. Finish fire, and we'll see you soon. Seriously, finish that book. But yeah, good luck teaching the lawyers how to tech. Good morning and happy hump day from Joe Bachman. My erstwhile best. Joe and Trey are like family. I'm not used to having friends that actually friend over time. And Trelena and then Joe are among the first set. Mandy doesn't count. I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. I have some ancient pictures of us looking quite dapper, but anyway, but no, Joe and Trey are the some of the best people I've ever met. And yeah, I can't imagine. He says, happy hump day, Nevermorians. Good luck teaching class, Rich. Joe uses Technomage powers to open a portal to find Donna, Carl, and Michaela. Hope you have some luck with that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Blue Teddy Narrations. Honey, you need to set up a little ad about what you do so I can promote it. And no, I'm not currently charging, although I will gladly accept payment. Speaking of, if you're watching this and you're enjoying any of the content, please hit like. If you aren't, please comment really politely what I'm doing wrong, and I will address it. And if it is something that I feel needs fixed, I'll fix it. And if not, you'll at least have your say. Check out Blue Teddy Narrations on YouTube, bit.ly/BlueTeddyYT. God, he's amazing. Late, sorry. It's okay, Carl. We're just glad you're here. Blue Teddy, hey, good morning. Check out Carl's books on Lulu, bit.ly/Carl Witzman. Donna went off to take her friend to the doctor, so I was doing cleaning and lost track of time. Today's been one of those days. I went outside to take the garbage out and ended up taking down the Christmas lights while I was there. It's an oddly productive day. Aw, thanks, Joe. I actually made a background without a gradient. Hallelujah. What? Accountability. Yes, hit me with your sweet, sweet accountability. Starting a new stream on Monday nights, which will help me keep a schedule to actually work on coding at least once a week. Bloody brilliant. That's part of why I have art time with Nick on sometime in the weekends. I have to keep that loose for necessity, but it forces me to do my my thumbnails. Good morning, Evermorans. Good morning, Frog G. Wait, we got Frog G in the house. We know what to do when Frog G hops on by. Let's see. There it is. Because you've all heard the stories.
We've all read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, and in real life,
stories don't always have happy endings. Frog G, the story of a man turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god by death itself. Now our hero must roam the underworld to regain his humanity and win back the woman he loves.
Yeah, that is just a neat title, and I don't know why. I've heard some counter rumblings that there may be something about how people use Indiegogo that's escalating the likelihood of shadow banning. And it's not one I know enough to speak to, but Frog, you may want to reach out to Nita Lanning. She had an interesting discussion with me about it. And yeah, this is shocking. Someone online who is willing to say, I don't know, but I know someone who might. So you might want to just PM her. She knows things. I don't know if it's true or not, but she has some interesting things to say. And I respect her opinion on such things. She won't come on the show because she doesn't feel like she does anything. And I think that's absolutely balderdash. That's why I want her to come on the show as a guest. What's that for all things Nick? Tockert.com. Yes. And that's part of my 2023 is renovating that site. Good morning, Frog G. YouTube, Joe Bachman, youtube.com/@c.i.joenwi. Got greetings, and we've got need to get your links from you at some point so I can promote your stuff and get added to the Independent Creators Directory. That is right, my friends, because indiecd.org is the place that is. It's something we need to social media safe ourselves. Okay. Joe sets up a page for you. It puts in your links. He's doing an amazing service for very little money, painfully small money, actually. if I can afford to be involved. You know what I'm saying? So go there, check out the wonderful creators. It's a one-stop shop for writers, editors, artists. It's almost like a white pages of indie creators, and lots of overlap, because you may find out that people you thought you knew everything they did are actually doing a whole lot more. And I'm here for it. So indiecd.org. Now, let's go back to where I was. And there we go. And Frog G, Voodoo Gods and Magic. IGG.me at FrogGVGM, which makes a lot more sense when I think about it. X and then those numbers. Go there. It's a great title. Carl says, hey, Frog G, sorry, I'm distracted. I can be very distracting. I'm cleaning my desk, Frog. It's a disaster right now. That's part of today's plan. Huh. Our man Johnny Cage says, huh, big holes fight a lot less in my experience. This is a context thing, my friend. If you're plugging holes in a boat, it's a lot easier to plug little holes than big ones. But yeah. In 10 days, the fine folks at Red Valkyrie Presents will be hosting another underground art auction. Frog G has a couple of pieces of original art up this time. The Red Valkyrie is a really neat site. They do so much for the independent creator community, and they're very supportive. And one neat thing is whenever they do a shill show where they're promoting somebody's campaign, Shay over at Red Valkyrie, who, good Lord, is that truth in advertising, tends to cosplay a character from the title. It's really neat. They're great people. I spent a season, the premiere season of Dice Dudes and Dames, as the DM in Dusk Falls over Ravencleft Gorge, which is getting a full workup. It is one of my big 2023 projects. I want that done. I want that out. And I am going to see if I can't do the full layout myself. I want to do that one ground up. It's a lot. I still have a lot of DM mechanicking and formalizing to do. I have to redo a whole bunch of maps, but I think it's worth it. And I think it can be very, very cool. So I'm going to be working on that in the near future. And, Joe says, yeah, I'm going to hop off around 10 a.m. and start cleaning this home for the home inspection we have Friday. Cool. How, Johnny? Greeting Johnny, greeting Frog. Johnny Cage's art on Twitter. It's amazing stuff. And greeting Johnny, greeting each other. And Dawn Doulis. Hello. Hello, Dawn. I see your name a lot. It's nice to have an icon to associate. Next Wednesday is going to rock. Yeah, Brian K. Morse is a powerhouse. He's the original creator of Nevermind the Furthermore. I am a humble carrier of the torch that he lit with his great glory. And yes, it's going to rock. Did Nick say Brian K. Morris, Rising Tide, at youtube.com/Brian K. Morris, Rising Tide Publications? Yes, I did. Facebook.com/ this is what I love. Facebook.com/Hales Angels, Amy Hales page on Facebook. And we're joined by Radio Retro Future. Hi, Bonzer. And with Bonzer coming through the door, I should run his ad as well. It's almost like people are learning that I'm more likely to run your ad if you are in my chat.
Greetings, fellow traveler, and welcome to the Association of Ishtar, a multiverse of cosmic mystery and steampunk adventure. The Association of Ishtar is a clandestine organization of volunteers investigating anomalies called rifts, portals to other worlds where anything is possible. Most of these planes are but savage variations of Earth, but some are home to advanced civilizations or the occasional alien beings beyond human comprehension. Every day, these brave men and women are risking their lives by crossing the fringes of reality. Should they succumb, they will die in obscurity. But it's not the Associates' vocation to perish, but to seek out and gather information on the copious threats lurking beyond the rifts to ensure humanity can overcome. After all, those who pry prevail.
That's right. The Association of Ishtar is an amazing project and is birthing all sorts of great stories and characters and lore. Very much a steampunk SCP, just a wonderful little world, and I enjoy it. So look up that. And how are you doing, Bonzer, if you're still around? Maybe Blue Teddy continues. Maybe I should be one advertisement should be one of my focuses this year. I'm not particularly good at or comfortable with it. None of us are. But when you are an indie creator, you have to do that up to a bit. Part of my gig is out here trying to help folks, and so I run ads. Just set up a small video, less than a minute. That says what you do. Maybe show off some artwork. That you get lots of examples. Message me when you're done. I'll send you the link. Good point. Notice that I found out speaking with Kelly Austin. And that's Kelly Austin of... Where is it? Sorry. Bishop Kincaid, The Rembrandt Stratagem, which is a wonderful book that is out. I will be reading it and giving a full review, although it sounds great. I was talking to her, and we had some technical difficulties, and I was talking to Grant Lankard. And apparently, StreamYard does not let me show .movie files. It only lets me show MP4s. So, if you are submitting your ads to the secret ad folder, please make sure they're in the MP4 format so that I can actually promote your stuff. So, let's see, banners, brand, and comments. Here we go. All right, we've got greetings there. And Radio Retro Future on radioretrofuture.com. I'm sorry, youtube.com/C/Radio Retro Future. Accountability. Very little writing. I'm helping with the Amy Hale event and the fundraiser on another network later this month. Okay. Let me know about that later project too. Maybe we can get some stuff going if it's helping folks. Hale Frog G. Blue Teddy Narrations. I know how you feel. I went through several revisions of the ad Nick ran for me earlier. And one thing is, I'm very easy to, you want to update your ad as it improves, feel free. Working on doing character generation stream using GURPS. It's a stretch goal for Bound to the Sticks. Oh, God, Steve Jackson's GURPS is a wonderful system. That's generic use RPG role-playing system. I had a couple, about 20 GURPS books at one point. I hope they're still in storage. It's a great system for folks, especially if you're trying to get away from the D&D universe. That sounds like a fascinating program. When are you running that stream so we can promote it? And speaking of promotion, there's our own Joe D. McPhee. I've had some fascinating conversations with him. I almost always do whenever he shows up. So let's run his ad because he's here. And I have one more. I have a lot of ads today. It's okay. I'm promoting good folks. And this is why I try to keep folks' ads short, because I run a lot of them as people show up.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Yep. So Joe has his opinions, and he has some ideas, and it is amazing how steadfast he can be in them. And I respect some people who know what they're about, not to be political. I respect Bernie Sanders, even on the subjects I disagree with him, because he has pretty consistently said the same things. And so what are you up to, Joe? Let's get your accountability. And Joe Bachman says catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher on YouTube. bit.ly/Exincy Studio. Good morning, Jody. And morning, Jody. And Dawn Doulis, I hope I'm saying your name right, doing laundry so I'm mostly listening in. I try to that's why I read people's comments, and I try to keep it very audio friendly. I like having streams, and I used to get so much done with Brian going in the background listening while I was drawing or whatever. Let's see. The wife, says Joe Bachman, just texted me to remind me to pull dinner out of the freezer to thaw. I knew I forgot something this morning. Well, that's okay. You can text the wife back, the lovely Trelana Bachman, that I still need to know before I get heavily into the picture for your mom's book, what size you intend to publish at, so that I can make sure the picture is viable, and if you want me to put the lettering on it, or if you want to do the lettering yourselves for the cover. And yes, I'm doing book cover design. No, I'm not charging for it. It's Joe Bachman. He gets the Fay plan. He pays me, but he pays for so much I can do some things for him. Good Lord. Now, that being said, my normal policy still stands. I do the job, I get paid. But Joe does so much for me, I consider it equivalent exchange, or at least a small give back. Although, I do the job, I get paid is a policy I want you all to feel comfortable to use and invoke. And if you are working somewhere and they are not paying you, they are stealing your wages, leave. This has been another one of my moments brought to you simply on the telling the truth how it is. All right, let's see. Joe's greeting Joe and Frog. Make the gate Pope proof. Yes. We'll just say a certain mid-boss. First off, a certain mid-boss will be more overtly done up. And remember, you had the TPK. The only reason you didn't have the TPK, Johnny, was it was requested I not end the series because Johnny Cage, I'm sorry, Lord Cage, the vampire transcended and commander of the gate to Castle Solitaire, had the entire Red Valkyrie party down because they all failed their saves against the Sirens. And the Harpy song just zonked them. You could have... There is an alternate universe where you slurp and burp them and nothing else really happened. It's okay. That really was an overlooked flaw. Yep. I started Neurosis last night. Sucked in. Excellent. It really is a good novel. What's this? Glenn B. Fleming. Nick Glenn. And I love showing this because this is my favorite Glenn B. Fleming related project. The little Hatch statue that his lovely wife Helen did. It's so adorable and yet iconic. Beautifully done. Support the Hatch 2 campaign. Getting the Hatch out of here, I believe is how it is. And, we've got lots of comments. That's good. That's good. Hi, Glenn, says Frog. MP4, note made. Got an ad almost done, just waiting for my voice talent. Ooh. Shoot me the link for the ad folder via Messenger when you have a chance. I might be able to convert those over to MP4 for use. It already got fixed. They already did it, and I deleted the wrong ones. That's part of what I was doing. Okay, funny thing happened on the way to Nevermind the Furthermore. I came in with videos that needed to be uploaded and tweaked and a few things. Now, I have a test room that's basically permanently set up. It will never live stream, where if I need to have a quick meeting to talk to somebody, we go to the test room, things like that. Anytime I need to tweak with a thing, go to the test room. That way I don't goof up my my stream. But this morning I was in there laboring to get some stuff organized and figure out how I wanted things. I didn't know Joe was waiting for me, was hanging out, working on other things in this feed before it went live. So it's just funny that great minds think alike that hard. And Glenn's got a big grin at Frog G. Doesn't OBS remux videos to another format? Ooh. If you're interested, you are welcome to join us on that stream, Nick. We are thinking of adding an informal contest. Winners get his or her character included. Thinking the last weekend of January. I will not be able to make it then because the last weekend of January, basically the end of January, is very busy for me. Carl, thank you for the invite, though. Carl Witzman, not sure. I think I have either have a program or website saved, though, that does it. That's handy. Accountability, fighting imposter syndrome again, still sketching. It's throwing my flow off with getting issue 4 done for primetime Saturday night. Need to feel better about my hand-drawn work. Okay. Well, it may be a case of that it's that you need to have that critique discussion. If you can send me, because you sent me a couple pictures, send me just 1 or 2 hand-drawn pages. That way I can make sure my discussion, and I can throw some pointers at you. It's not negative. It's additive. So because a lot of it, I think if you add a bit more detail, a couple more tweaks, it may greatly improve what you're trying to accomplish. And again, if you're not comfortable with it, don't worry. But Jody McPhee feeling imposter syndrome? Say it ain't so. Oh, well. And yes, you've been saying my last name correct. Oh, wonderful. One of the most consistent and hardworking comic artists I know. Watch the unveiling of Hatch here. Ooh, and there's a YouTube, so we'll definitely do that. I get mainly when I've been sketching a lot. Like I said, being tough skin has its weakness in private. Yeah, and we all have to face that. But instead, sometimes we gotta talk for a moment. And Don Doulis, hey, can everyone spam me with the links to the YouTube channels, FB groups, etc. Please. We will definitely get you some stuff, Don. Also, are you on Twitter? If you're on Twitter, follow me, and I can send you all sorts of goodies. Okay. We have to talk about something that doesn't get talked about. When imposter syndrome can be a good thing. I know, everybody just hold on, breathe. As an artist, I go through it constantly. Actually, I was talking to Joe about it. When you feel your art is beginning to not be as good as it should be. Let's be honest. When you feel like your art sucks, we all been there. God. It is, you have to be careful. Is the imposter syndrome just the outside stuff, or is it a call to drive, to improve? And when you're sketching, take the time, and if you do gesture drawings and you practice the hard parts. Yeah, I've been trying to improve hands, for example. You will find your art improves. And when you change only comes when it is more uncomfortable to stay as you are than it is to face the discomfort of change. And it's only made possible through the viscosity of tears. I mean, that's the real truth. Growth is made possible through the viscosity of tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. That's what lubricates the transition between who you are and who you want to be. Without them, it's simply not possible to improve, to rise, to get better. Growth requires attempts and failure and learning, guys. If it were easy to do what we do, if it were easy to make a comic, if it were easy to write a book or a novel, to make a game, if it were easy to learn the processes, everyone would do it. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes sacrifice. And that's the difference. I believe in being positive. I believe in building people up, but I won't lie to you. The vast majority of problems in this world are simple, okay? They are simple. It just ain't easy. And when we try to make things easy, it gets real complicated real fast, or we get all bungled up. And sometimes it's better to just take a step back and go, what's the simple solution? How do I pull all the BS out and just learn to do the thing? That mentality has served me very well. It is part of a philosophy I've been condoning for a long time. I think just step back and go, okay, why do I feel this way? Maybe my art is not up to the skill level of my peers. That means you're in the right place. What? A lot of people want to be the biggest duck in the puddle. It's a nice feeling. It's a comfortable feeling. And when you age, it's a more and more comfortable feeling. It's tempting. But I have learned so much by being the little guy in the corner of a room, or sitting at a table with folks I don't feel qualified to sit at, but being polite. I learned so much. But it takes a death of ego. And the thing about ego is it regenerates. Ego has more lives than the frickin' doctor. I swear, you kill it and it will creep up in the background. And it's funny because, like, though they're completely opposite in seeming, ego and imposter syndrome just seem constantly at war. And both of them are forces that stand between you and doing what you want to do and being who you want to be. So you have to find your way to fight them. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, this weather shift is just wreaking havoc on me. And Glenn says he thinks you're doing fine with your art. And wait. Thank you, says Don Doulis. And just set my file of links to her. Thank you, Joe Bachman. Well, since we have a moment, let's run an ad. I have a brand new ad from our own Grant Lankard, who isn't here today, but we are going to run his ad.
Hazel always knew there was something special about her cat Mooney, but she's still shocked when Mooney opens his mouth to tell her he's just had a vision. An ancient evil has awoken after centuries of sleep, and only one man can stop it, the legendary warrior Beowulf. Unfortunately, it's been over 1,000 years since he slayed a dragon, and he's been reincarnated as this guy. His name is Victor, and he's more unemployed millennial slacker than mighty warrior.
Now, Grant Lankard is one of those really neat people because I have certain privileges in being who I am. I have cultivated assorted friend networks, and that means I walk in a lot of camps, and I'm welcome there, even though I don't live there per se. And one of the great splits I see are the crowd-funded indie guys. And Carl says Beowulf is a good story. Who are, running that route and trying to go direct sales, and then people who are trying to walk the more traditional path of trying to get their comic published and into stores and into people's hands that way. And one, it's great to see someone like Grant pulling it off. That's huge. Considering that was something pursued, and because of the grift, I think that left a souring on a lot of people in certain circles. Seeing it done right makes me genuinely happy. And that's good on Grant. Joe says, how do you take being pushed to the side in certain areas, especially when you work hard to get better and see the improvement? Some of it could be ego. I'm not the best, and I know that. That's the thing. I do get that. In life, many, many times, in fact, nearly constantly, I am weighed, measured, and found lacking. But that is simply another I've fallen down. Think of such things as tests. But tests in life, unless it's a literal life-threatening situation, are pass-fail. People don't want to admit it, but if you goof up, okay, learn from it. Try, if possible, try it again. Try something else. The other thing is, who's pushing you to the side and why? There are some people. I'm going to be blunt with you, Joe, because I believe you can handle a bit more blunt. And I am nearing the Nick villain arc, at least when I deal with things on the other show I participated in, Nerd Bacon. There are some people who will push you aside because they are racist bigots. They suck. Okay? There are some people genuinely out that, and they suck. And there are some people who will push you aside because they find your art style inferior. And they suck too, but there's the potential that it can be done as a constructive response. Yes, some of it is genuine jealousy. Some of it really is jealousy. So what you have to do is you have to be able to step back, critically analyze, and think where you want your art to go. Because one secret most artists are afraid to admit is nothing ever looks right. It's never exactly how you want it. So you do your best. The thing you need to do is figure out for you what makes it not look like you want it to look, and what are your visual inspirations, and what cues are you taking from it? How can you refine your style, not to change it? It's never about taking your style away, but to build up. See, the trick is there's a temptation, guys, and this is anytime you submit a book to a publisher and they refuse, they rejection letter. With me and Amazon merch, felt like a slap to the face. But the trick is, do you go, what am I doing wrong? You either go, is it them or is it me? And here's the thing, you can't change them. And when something, I get real stoked about this sort of thing. When something is a force you cannot change, thinking about changing it, longing to change it, shaking your fist at the darkness, that just wastes time and energy. And energy is a limited and wavering supply. Time is the most precious thing we have because it goes and doesn't come back. You don't get redos in life that way. You'll never get the time back. So what you want to do is figure out what is outside the circle of your control and not worry about it. Disregard it. Then look back, take the same clause and go, okay, I'm being pushed aside. How can I improve my work? Is it the story? Is it the writing? Is it the layout? Is it the formatting? Is it the lettering? Go through step by step everything you do, and then pick one part and work on improving it. I don't want you to draw like everybody else, Joe. I would never say that, because one, it would be intensely hypocritical. I have my own rather distinct art style. I certainly have my own distinct speaking and writing style. I play with words. The mouthfeel of the word sometimes is as important as the word itself, and it does occasionally incline me to the malaprop. I have some seriously cross-wired neurons in my brains. I am aware of this. But I strive to get better. And as long as you strive to get better and you really focus on what you're doing, you'll get better. And if you combine that with an eye for, it's almost like malicious compliance. Whenever someone would beat me fencing, I'd have to know why. I'd have to watch. And then I would spend time. It drove people nuts. Why are you're not fighting today? No. So what are you doing? I'm watching. I am watching. A lot of people are have skills, but if you observe, you can learn their skills by simply watching what they do. And if you can maintain civility and you ask intelligent questions, well-framed questions, you'll usually get a response. And if you don't, they're a dick and you learn from someone else. Let's see. Carl says, even though I'm not the best writer in the world, the fact that I put stuff out there puts me ahead of tons of others who don't do the work. That breeds jealousy. Absolutely. Dawn says, I feel like I'm out of my league among everyone here, but I also know that I am learning every day. I have also found that I am not the typical artist. I have a marketing brain and my creativity has been released. That is wonderful. There is nothing wrong with that at all. You're on Facebook, so it might let you share a link. If not, send me a link to your stuff so I can look at it, and maybe I can tell. I love critiquing art. I love studying to get better, but positivity and dedication go a long way. Further, do not feel like you're out of your league. I don't run places where people are out of their league unless you're not trying. If you're not trying, you're out of your league and you got to step up your game. But if you're honestly trying and you're learning, even if you don't know what you're doing, that is that is what I'm aiming for. Because I've said it many times, I'll say it again, all I want to be is a footstool. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not a ladder to success. I don't have the secret path. For only $49.99, you can get the secret path to riches. You had a secret path to riches, you wouldn't be selling that stuff. Anyway, all I want to do is help you and others get to the next level. If I do it right, you'll rocket above me so fast you won't even realize, I was but a speed bump on the super highway of your life. That's what I want. And I hope to help you and anyone who comes on our show feel better about that, because you seem, just from the few chats, fairly eloquent, well-spoken, civil, intelligent. I can work with this. And if you have any questions about what the people here are doing, that is just peachy. Okay? And we will help. We're a supportive bunch. We don't tolerate trolls around these parts. That's part of the reason why so many people have wrenches. I give most of my regulars wrenches for two reasons. First off, I want them to be able to share their links. I want them to be able to promote themselves. And if they've proven themselves to be the kind of people I trust, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to. And secondly, the rare appearance of a troll does not last long around these parts. I will never tolerate a bully. I don't condone it. It is bad form. And that's why not only Mighty and Just swings the band hammer, a whole lot of people in my chat are swinging their hammers. I do it the if Tony Stark were smart approach. The whole, what are you doing? Iron suits for everybody who could use one. But, well, I don't need one. Just take your upgrades and be happy. So let's keep on trucking. But you are welcome here. Ask any question. We will keep trucking. However, says Carl Witzman, I know that I am the 22nd best writer in the world. So I feel good about that. Yes. Nothing wrong with having an enlightened self-esteem. Sorry, it's a substance I don't have a lot of, so I have to kind of cough to get the word of self-esteem out. Kelly says, Nick, do you think there are some in the indie market that will say anything or do things to make a artist feel inferior due to a few out there thinking everything they do is better? Absolutely. Friends, colleagues, Romans, and Nevermorians, if you will. There are always going to be parasites and excuse me, I was so upset I hiccuped, but there will always be those people who act like crabs in the crab trap, who will pull you back down because they believe it's a zero sum, that the only way to get higher is to tear people down. And I will tell you, I do not stand for it. They do exist, and they stink. If people are doing that to you, just walk away. And it's hard. But whatever they give you, they're giving you to control and debt, because there are a whole lot of people. I'll tell you this. There are a whole lot of people in this world who I want the best for you, as long as it's not better than what I have. You can all get whatever you want as long as it's not more than me. And that ain't me. I want the people I promote, the people I help to level up in whatever I'm doing. From swordsmanship to sales, I don't care. I want people built up. And that does get me targeted because it offends people. It offends people because I'm not playing that game. And I have encountered and I've been laid low by some of those. But 7 down, 8 up, man. I'm sorry, ma'am. If you get kneecapped, you just got to get up to the best of your ability. But don't give them that power. If you can learn from someone, cool. If you respect them and they give you constructive critique, that is a gift. If you agree with it, apply it. If not, discard it. But don't waste your energy either supporting people who don't support you, or letting people sabotage you. If you catch them at it, hands off. Just walk away. Carl says, Kelly, I think if I am better than another writer, I will try to help them. If I am worse than another writer, I might try to bring them down. My attitude is I'd rather learn from them. When I am worse than somebody or not as popular. My old man taught me a lot of things, and some of them were very good. One of them was, if you want what someone has, you got to do what they do. You got to learn from it. So that's what I try to do. Carl, that's how I was feeling when I was in the running community. Oh, you used to run? Cool. Believe it or not, my chunky self used to be a cross-country runner too. Before I found out that I am not mechanically suited for it. I have some malformed joints, etc. Let's just say I walk with the cane for good reason when I walk with the cane. But yeah, there will always be runners who will trip you to win and talk down to you to make you lose the confidence to win, because for them that's all that matters and that's all they have. And I pity those sad, sad people. I pity them. I keep the heck away from them, but I pity them. No one should deserve to feel degraded so that others can build themselves up. That's drivel. That's worse than drivel. That's horrific. And it's enough to make me want to swear. Let's see. Just sent you what I finished via Messenger. I figured that's what all that pinging was. I had someone tell me I would sell only one book. In truth, I've been selling slow and steady. There are a few out there that have ego and try. Are there a few out there that have ego and try to straighten? Absolutely. There are some who do. Well, okay, let's look at it this way. There are some folks who see what we do as competition. Okay? Well, we're fighting for the independent dollar, and we got to get out there and outsell and outpromote, and we got to destroy the opponents, And if you've ever been in a corporate meeting where they're trying to fire people up in a modified version of the sports analogy format, Kelly, there are people who embrace that yes, destroy them, crush them. I want to hear the lamentations of their women. It's like, dude, this is Best Buy versus Circuit City. This isn't the battle for Kryn or whatever, you know. You are not Conan the Barbarian. You're a middle manager. No, you know, cool your jets, brother. But yes, they exist. And what I have done is I've tried to make a community where that is limited. I connect communities. That's what I do. I love finding circles and going, this circle is a Venn diagram with that circle. They just don't know it. Everybody come together. And then while they talk, I go grab another one and rope them in. And it's the goal of getting the right people together to improve everyone. That's kind of one of my missions. And I try to construct it in such a way that, you know, when I fail or when I fall, the structure still holds. It's constant work. And I've been accused of manipulation, and perhaps it is, but it's manipulation in the way of, I think you'd be good friends with you because you both have these same interests. Let's put you in a room. There will always be those who try to strangle the success of others, whether it be from ego, being a general troll, or not wanting to risk losing their piece of the money pie. Absolutely, and well said. And it's taken a long time for me to understand the strategy, mechanics, and counter approach to such threats, because they are. Part of it is I don't truck with them. And when I see people display such behaviors, I tend to simply remove them from my existence. You don't exist to me. I don't have time to deal with you. Go away. You know, that's why a block was existing. Why a block was formatted. That makes sense, Carl. Thank you. Jealousy rarely comes from above talent. I gotta go. I just remembered they're doing a food drive at the hall with the NWI food bank. See you all Friday. Bye, Joe. I'm sure you're already long gone, but thanks for catching part. Have Trey tell me how big she wants that picture. Well, you want that picture. You know what I mean. Bye, Joe. Don't forget to thaw your dinner. Then I fell on a trial run, broke my leg, and needed a spinal fusion. Oh, darling. I've been dodging spinal fusion myself for a while. And, I mean, what turns out is I have bent ankles and one leg shorter than the other. And I was spiral fracturing from impact my femurs, especially my right one. Just microfractures, really unpleasant. So I was always in pain, always weak. And I'm right there. Gall, I'm right there with you, Don. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. That's hideous. The loss of running as a capability for someone who loves it, it's like a bird losing their wings. And most people can't quite get that. Losing the ability to fly, it takes something away from you. But you find other things to do. And I am really glad that you're creative. And thank you for participating in this program. We've got a nice little comment dump. Cool gamer. Hey, cool gamer. Oh, what kind of gamer are you, my friend? Video, TTRPG, CCG, war games. Hit me up. I just like to know about the people that are talking. And if you make anything, let me know what else you do. No, actually, the running community was nice to me. I ran like a turtle in the winter and molasses. They were supportive. Oh, that's wonderful. Bye, Joe. Be good. He won't. People say iron sharpens iron. People take iron sharpens iron to iron destroys iron. Without competition, there is no innovation. That's the way I think, because people would rather leech or destroy because they don't want to compete. They don't want healthy competition. Well, look, let's put it in this way. Okay, we'll get real tactical here for a second. A fair fight is one you can lose. Process that again. A fair fight is one you can lose. So if you see the creating as a competition, you're in a fight. And if it's fair, you could lose. So you do everything in your power to cheat. I think the competition with self is far more important than the competition with the other. The conflict. Because here's the thing. And we're seeing a lot now. You could destroy the competition through means. Cancellation, political things. It doesn't make your art any better. It doesn't make your writing any better. It doesn't make the game you've built any better. Attacking outside forces does not improve yourself. But if you improve yourself, if your skills keep growing, you don't have to worry about the outsiders. Because at the end, you can just go, my stuff's better. And have it be so. Because the customer base, serve the customer. Okay? Make a good product. Advertise the heck out of it. Serve the customer. Because if you are serving the customer, if you're serving the community, you figure out what they want and what you do, and you can get these two to align. You don't have to worry about anything else. Because if you're wasting time feuding and conflicting with others, that's time you're not drawing. That's a theft. They win because they've taken time from you. They've taken money from you. They've taken opportunity from you. That does no good. So the way to compete, it's like running. It's much more like running than it is football, where you have to actively, you just go as fast as you can. And you finish the dang race. Again, these are simple things. If people tell you your art needs improvement and they can tell you why, apply it. If you don't like it, you don't have to market it. But if you're writing, if your story is good and you market, it will catch. And I will tell you this, and anyone reading this, anyone listening to this, it's a slow process and you fall flat on your face. Last time I checked, I've made 4 cents this year. I made $455 on Amazon last year, roughly. I cracked 1,000 over 6 years of being on Amazon, and nearly half of it was last year. That is what's called growth, friends, and it takes time. And I have to be able to focus and do what I need to do. So do you. What is your goal? I would love to make $1,000 this year. I would dance a jig if I made $1,000 this year, and kept roughly that level of growth. And right now I'm working on a lot of things that aren't making me a lot of money. Because right now the games I do don't make me a lot of money. If I was really focused on just doing the money, I would crank out different weapon style books. These guys, people love these guys. The simple sword's a little too expensive to hit what people want, but because I used color, it has to be. I made some tactical mistakes. But I learned. So that's all it is. Don't worry about the haters. Unless it is fueling you to create, just cast them aside like the insects they are. Absolutely irrelevant. They're just moving cardboard to keep people in Kevin McAllister's faux party. They don't matter. So, let's see. Oops. Again, this is the reason I don't get upset anymore after conversations with Reed Pop about conventions. I don't know who Reed Pop is. You have to know where you need to fit in to find where you're currently at. But now I'm here. I was able to live dreams. Just sucked how I got here, LOL. Yeah, sometimes it takes a broken road to get you where you gotta go. I'm living in a house that I need to renovate and fix. My wall is a bit of a parody. I never do anything for just one reason. But it took losing homes. It took horrible jobs and physical agony and poverty and literal blood, sweat, and tears. There have been some nightmares. Nightmarish things have been between where I was and where I got. But when you start to arrive and you feel the ground under your feet and it's solid, and you feel the people around you and you realize, I'm surrounding myself with good people. That's what leveling up in life feels like. But don't forsake the broken road, because sometimes pain is unpleasant, but it is necessary. Pain is good. It's just not pleasant. Pain is your friend. It tells you you're alive. It tells you what's wrong. Pain lets you know that you've gone too far, or you're lacking in some substance, or that you just done goofed. Pain prevents you from worse injury. Pain gives perspective and humility. And when it's gone, in its absence, one feels relief and joy. When the world has fallen apart, there are times where sometimes your pain is all you have. So it becomes, what do you do with it? And the folks who have industrialized their pain, they have made it into something useful or expressive. They've turned their pain into something beautiful. In the Van Goghian transformation, they're the interesting ones. I think scars are beautiful. I get in trouble because I run with a lot of people who do tats. In fact, my buddy Sterling, if you live in Northwest Indiana or can get there, is a mind-bogglingly good tattoo artist. I have no tattoos, but if I were to get a tattoo, I'd go to Sterling. And I used to say I respect scars more than tattoos because you don't buy a scar. And the more I associated with some of my more friends, the more I realized a lot of times those tattoos are scars. They are symbolic of the scars you can't see. A lot to think about. But you are here. You are among creatives who will help support you and promote you. As long as you're fairly civil, some basic social norms. Be nice to each other. consent matters, things like that, we'll get along spankingly. Splendidly. I don't know why I said spankingly. Oh, well. But people won't see or listen when great advice is given, even though they know how it is correct. That's true too. The trick is try not to be that people. Be positive, serve your fans, customers, keep constantly producing new work. If you do that, you're too busy to pay attention to the other things. Yep. Oh, Agent Zero Studios. Hey, Justin, how you doing? How's Chrome Dog? Hope it's performing well for you. Agent Zero Studios does Chrome Dog, a really neat little comic book. When doing this, I get into imposter syndrome. When I stop, I look back what I am missing based on the fact that I reflected on what was being said. Good. That's the point. Nevermore the further mind, kind sir. Oh, God, you speak of my language. I'm tempted to give you a Vegemite sandwich. And it's funny, the bigger names are accepting me and helping me. That's the truth. Guys, the real deal act real all the time. When you know what you are and you know what you're doing, you don't have the uncertainty, the fear inside to feel like you need to tear other people down needlessly. You might as well build people up. Oh, ReadPop is the company that does shows like C2E2 and NY Comic Con. Well, see, there you go. And if you're there, and imposter syndrome doesn't help an overthinker like me. I see imposter syndrome if I can't escape it, which I can't. As soon as, I'll let you know a secret, as soon as I'm done with the stream, I'll turn everything off. I'll check my pile of messages. And I will go through my, oh God, what did I do this time? Hits me like a brick every time. I'll be happy, having a wonderful time. Click off, and it just drops. As like the imposter syndrome looms and laughs for a while. And I let it, and then I get up and I go about my day anyway. Because I stop and go, am I doing well? I could do better. How could I do better? Maybe I'm not running the ads at a good cadence. Maybe I'm not engaging with the chat enough. That so that I jot it down or I put a note for myself. And then I go, okay. And I do something about it. And that it's weird to say it bothers the imposter syndrome. But it's like, if you're going to give me a tool, I'm going to use it against you. So don't think of the imposter syndrome as something you can weaponize. Everything's a weapon. Everything's a tool. Good discussion. I must run. Everyone have a good day. Bye, Carl. Yeah. Me too, Johnny. Me too. Hey, JFC. Yo, AZS. We got chats. Sorry, I poofied. My SO called to let me know he has a job in the room. Whoop, whoop. Well, that's fine, Don. You can catch whatever you missed in the rerun. And yay. Congrats for your SO. I hope everything's going good. And Chrome Dog's mailing list. This document, very long. Get on there. It's a neat project. And since Nick's asked, Chrome Dog will be launching on. Thanks, Johnny freaking Cage. Yes. Because I'm friends with Luke Stone. He is a business partner of mine and a friend. On his behalf, apologies for anyone who has a night show called Nerd Cap. I do not usually get on because I try to sleep at night now for medical reasons. But he didn't show up for a stream because he's exhausted. Luke's been running himself a little thinner than I think he should, trying to get all his streams in line in a short amount of time. So please don't hold that against him. And thanks, Johnny Cage. No problem. Well, we're at an hour and a half. Let me run a commercial. And actually, I have at least 2 I need to run. So I'm going to run some commercials here. Yeah, let's roll this one. That's Kat's old commercial. I didn't mean to run that one. I meant to run this one.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel. But otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
I support Kat, and I support all the teachers who are out trying to educate and help our children make the world a better place. I believe they should have enough funds to be able to do so, and it should not be something that levers their kindness against and their love against finance. That's not fair. So Kat should get to art, and I'm going to do everything I can to promote her. I have some others I want to promote because we know some good people here, and so I'm going to run another one. I know I try not to run ads back to back, but this is a good ad. So that's Cindy Koepp has been there for so many. She promotes so many of our ads when she makes it. I want to make sure that she gets to have her stuff promoted as well. We've had some great conversation today. It looks like everybody's kind of quieted down. So I think at about an hour 40, we will call it. Oh wait, and we just got somebody on. So what are you doing next, guys? I want you to think about what are you doing next and how are you going to make it happen? Because that's what's going to let us be what we want. Our dreams can be achieved, but we have to do the walking. We have to put our minds to it. And I have absolute faith in everybody in this list that can do that. Now, if you like this content, I'm going to ask you, especially the folks who stuck around to the end, to hit the like button and to share this so that I can help promote all these good people to the people you know, and so that you can help, promote me. I think that's fair. I will be back. Today is Wednesday, so I will be on Nerd Bacon at 9 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be a spicy one. Luke's opening up political, and as the resident central moderate Democrat at times, I will probably have to be spicy back. It should be fun. We have a lot going on, and I'll be right back here for the usually much more civil Friday show of Nevermind the Furthermore, followed by on the Historical Fencing Guild Network, Historical Fencing Guild channel, the Historical Fencing Guild live stream. Have a lot coming up this week, so thank you. And thanks for the like. Other than that, guys, please keep creating. Oh, and let's see, no problem. And thanks for helping me refocus. It's about perspective, and it can power. Spicy banter, spices banter is always fun. It can get spicier than intended sometimes, but that's I battle autocorrect constantly, Don. You are in good company, and now we're friends on Facebook, so things can be set back and forth. But guys, I will see you then. Have a great day and create something, because even if it's not perfect, you can edit it, you can fix it, you can make it better, but you can't edit a blank page.